Hello everyone and welcome back to yet again another video about NIMBY Rails in the NIMBY Rails save, and I really want to get the suburban trains of Warsaw done today, and that's why we're here at Otwock. Why exactly are we at this station? You will see it a little bit later once the time lapse is done and we are actually in game setting up the line. But Otwock is another suburban region, another suburban area of the capital city, quite far out. And I think that there are a ton of people living there who really love this train to get to work into the city. And I decided to not build the S1 for quite some time because I have never built any tracks in that area. So when you remember the last episodes, the last 20 or so, where we are in this region. I'm not even sure if it's 20 episodes that we are around the city, but it's a lot. It's really a lot. And yeah, this region, I never actually went into it. It's basically the tracks towards, let me think, I think it's Cheremcha. There we build tracks that are leaving the capital city towards the east. And Otwock, so I hope I pronounced it right. I think it's wrong. But Otwock is southeast of the capital city. And basically later the line turns totally south. So quite an interesting new region that we are actually working on this time. And this is also the last suburban line. It's the S1, the one that is missing. And I'm super happy to be finally able to say, hey, we got the metro done, we got the suburban trains done, we can move on. The trams, I'm not even sure. Maybe write down in the comments if I should do videos about them or not, because tram videos I think are always horrible, especially around the capital city with I don't know how many tram lines. If I do like one tram line in one video, I think we could easily do 20-30 videos on the tram network alone, and that would be horrible. That would be a bit wrong, I think. So there's no need to actually do so much about the tram lines. Yeah. I think we will definitely move on from this capital city for a bit, because it is hard to always work in the same region. On one side I want to get it done, on the other side I open the game and I'm like, oh my god, it's Warsaw again. But yeah, that's a bit of real talk, if you want to say it like that, about the capital city and how big projects in NIMBY Rails sometimes backfire, especially since it's not the first time I do something that big. And I mean, the region is really strong already. The impact of the other suburban train lines is massive. When I say it's massive, then I also mean it like that. It's quite hard to actually say what changed. There's like a ton of new passengers. So if I work on new regional lines towards the west from the capital city out, then there will be like a really big amount of passengers. And this line won't be different. As you can see it here right now in the time lapse, we have the two inner tracks, we have two outer tracks. So it's a quad track setup. Of course not inside Otwock, there's way more tracks, but the main line here has 4 tracks all the way to Otwock. After that it's only 2 tracks, but that means that regional trains skip like all of the stops and they only stop at Otwock again. So where the suburban trains are, the regional trains don't stop, and that sped up also other lines quite massively when I finally changed to using the system and kicking out the regional trains from the suburban stops. So this line won't be any different. We will have way more passengers inside of Warsaw once this project is done. And that comes to a new point. I think I have to get a new demand curve for long distance passengers, because it's getting too much. I mean, I'm very happy when I check out Riga or when I check out Tallinn and I see people wanting to go to Berlin, for example. But it's not that nice anymore when there are a few hundred people or a few thousand people who want to go towards Warsaw from Tallinn, from Riga, from, I wanted to say Ventspils, but I mean Kaunas and Vilnius. So too many passengers on the long rail, not so many on the short ones. So I will tinker around with the new demand curve. yeah, it's a bit more realistic for my likings. And yes, that's what I need. What I also need right now is to finally set up the metro. So we're in game, and you can already see what I mean with Otwock being a new area for the save. We have this big depot here around Groszowska, and then I've already built the tracks, but it goes down here, and here we have a quad track setup with a basic split. So you have the metro, not the metro, the suburban line down here out of the city into the city, and then up here we have the regional train tracks, or maybe even if there's an intercity towards, I think, Ukraine. Would it go Lviv? Yes, it would go over these tracks most likely. And then later down the line around here, you can see it splits over. So we have 2 tracks suburban, 2 tracks regional, and over here we have regional, suburban, suburban, regional. So the classic sandwich with the suburban train in the middle and the faster trains on the outside. Looks good, I would say. And then all the way down to Otwock, I have only created a depot and the tracks I actually will use. So when we come over here to the lines, I have too many lines already in Poland. Just go to the trains and disable the autofocus. Yeah, and then we can go in, and the line starts at Pruszków. Down here we have a depot for 2 trains, and then just goes along the main line, so the regional trains will... Okay, let me actually set the default time to 0 here before we start with it. The suburban line will have the tracks for itself, and the regional trains will go parallel on the upper tracks that aren't built yet. And that way, here we also don't have any issues between regional trains and suburban trains. In here there's no station, and then we are already in here. Now what I ask myself, we're arriving here, so I could use track number 4, and then for the other way around, track number 5 at Zachodnia, and then I think it's these upper tracks. I'm not even that sure right now. Yeah, it's the upper tracks. The lower tracks are the VKD, if I'm correct, if I remember it correctly. And then, yeah, we pass through Centralna, and then of course all the stops in the downtown area. So another line that goes from one of the stations to the other station. Yeah, that's how trains work, going from one station to the other station. Surprise! From Zachodnia all the way over to Wyszotnia, another line. And now at Wyszotnia, is it difficult? Let me see, we arrive here. So we could use the 14 and 15 stadium, Wyszotnia stadium, yes. We could use the 14 and 15, and then we go here. And now I just check it out. Yes, we arrive in here without any issues. Go through here, and then here they are alone on their own tracks. Perfect. And then, you know the drill, you know how it works. Just throw in all of these stations. And with every single station I add here, it's even more new people, which is actually a good thing, because we do need more passengers around the Polish area. And then, yes, Swider, and then parallel, I can't speak. Passing the depot on the outsides. And then we have 3 tracks of depot here. We have 2 tracks of depot here, so already 5 trains. And then if I do need more than 5 trains, I have also finished this depot, except the 1 track up here. Yeah, when I look at it from here, it really is missing. No, we just added right now. I mean, when we zoom out, you can already see the white line from Pruszków to Otwock. Yes, Pruszków to Otwock. So yeah, the line is set up. So now it's only time to schedule it. It's already at night. I will spare you from watching me set up another line. I mean, what we can do. We have a train already in, do we? Yes. We have a basic train in. We can see it down here, 1 hour and 38 minutes. I believe I want this train at 1 train every 15 minutes, so I can theoretically set a custom duration of 1 hour and 45 minutes. The other lines are, I think, half an hour, every half an hour. Why don't I do it here? Relatively simple. We have the S3 and S4, for example, at airport. We have the S4 and the S40 down here at Pierre Sectional. Up here we have the S4, S40, S9. I think even the S3. Only the S2 is out here. There I was already thinking about creating a little feeder from the upper area here at Wyszotnia, so that the S-type trains, the suburban trains, have a 15-minute frequency going over here. That would, I think, help quite a lot. And the other line down here, you can see it, there are a lot of people. So 1 train every 15 minutes should work well, and then you have a few regional trains. So the frequency should work, but with 1 hour and 45 minutes, that's 4 plus 3. So 4 trains for 1 hour, 3 trains for 45 minutes when you take 15-minute values. So 7 trains, 3 there, 2 there, make 5. 2 part at Zachotnia make 7. Basic math. So when I set up a schedule, let me just go Poland train schedule. Let's clone this one. I'll name it S1. And when we go to orders, we will, or we can set up an order 1 to 2. That are the trains going from Pruszków. Then we will have 1 train going towards Otwock. That is down there. We will have 1 train. So when I go in, train number 4, we will have 1 train going. So 3 and 4 will both stay at the depot at Zachotnia. 1 will go to Otwock, 1 will go the other direction, and then we will have run number 4, and that is actually trains number 5 to 7, and the 3 that are parked down at Otwock, and run number 5 I don't need. So I set up 4 schedules, and then the line will run. And this is where we stand at the end. Another blue line. So another line finished, done, scheduled, everything. I haven't checked it yet, so when I go into the timetable, super simple feature, turn on the highlight overlapping train stops, then I zoom in and I can see that all these bars are first of all blue, which means that there's no issue because highlighting overlapping train stops makes these blue bars, so they are line color right now, and makes it bright red when it's overlapping. So we don't have that. All the bars are spread very, very evenly, so 15 minutes apart, like the schedule dictates. So when I scroll through, everything works all in until 2 AM. So that works pretty good. Last train at 2 AM out there, I think, is more than they get in real life, at least I hope so. 2 AM to 4 AM, just a good break because there won't be too many passengers and they can take the night buses, which obviously don't exist. It's just an excuse to not put in night trains. On the regional train it works, but yes, the metro is done. Let me just disable the train icons. The metro is done. The suburban train lines are done. We have a connection to the airport. Of course, doesn't change a lot. Then we also have a big part of the tram network at least laid down, at least having the blueprints. So yeah, for me this means that I will leave Warsaw a little bit like this, maybe for 5 to 10 episodes, and it's time to move on. So where should we go next? You can comment that down below. I'm eyeing a little bit at Gdansk, Poznan, Lodz down there to fill this hole, this gap. And once that is done, it's time to move even further. But that's probably 30-40 episodes out in the future, because there's so much to do inside of Poland, and that won't get less when we move on towards Berlin. Maybe it's also time to move south, but yeah. Warsaw shouldn't just be this mess at the end. It needs to be more integrated, more central in the network, so it's time to move west and south soon. And I will see where we build in the future in the next episode. Thank you so much for watching, and if you have any ideas where I should go, write it down in the comments, and see you in the next video. Bye bye, and thank you so much for watching.